Hello, everybody online. I don't know if there's anyone online yet, but today we are going to look at some of the real estate apps that that are out there. Obviously, there's a lot. There's a lot that are good. There's some that are bad. There's some that may work for some people. There's others that may work for others. So these are kind of just some of the ones that have been pulled together. So I went to the RE/MAX convention weeks ago, and one of the classes was this real estate apps class. And so he was nice enough to share this presentation so that we could use it here. And then I have some others that I've seen and added at the end. But a lot of these, I wanted to make sure and give him credit. He put this presentation together, so it was kind of nice. I didn't have to reinvent the wheel. But it just will talk about each of the apps. You know, if you have your phone, you can be, I was sitting in the class downloading them as I was going along. Or iPad or tablet. Some of them work on some and some on all platforms and some just on phone or just on iPad. So we'll go through all that though. So if you have any questions along the way, just feel free to ask. I am going to share the screen here so that way anyone online can see it. Okay. Oh, getting the door for me? Thank you. It's just going to do that. So this is just kind of an overview of the ones we're going to go through. All of these ones on the left here are ones that that they talked about at the session and at the convention. And I've kind of looked at a lot of these too, and I've heard other reviews on them too, so I think these are good ones to at least show you guys and show you what they can do. And then these are some of the ones that I've found too through other venues or articles and such that I've used as well. Okay, so Felt. So this is one, and I still haven't been able to hook up my iPad or my phone to either of these computers. I wanted to kind of show you guys show you what it looks like on the actual phone, but there's some pictures here that will help show it. This is a really cool one because it will let you do personalized cards. So you can pick the font that looks like handwriting and create, right now what they're showcasing on there, if you open up the Felt app, they're doing Easter cards and they're saying, hey, 18 days till Easter, make sure you get your Easter cards sent out. You can pick the cards, personalize them, and then you upload contacts and it will actually mail them in for you and everything. So yeah. It's just on Apple, is it? This one is only on iPhone and it's on the iPad too. So yeah, it's not on Android, unfortunately. It is free to download, but it does cost per card if you end up purchasing and having them send the cards out. But it's really nice because it's just kind of a personal way to touch your clients. We're always talking about these personalized messages. Well, this is just kind of an easy way to do it, via mobile. Has anyone ever used this one before? No. There's a couple other ones I've seen too. Like I said, this is the one I've seen the most in all the kind of real estate information. They're saying this is a good one for that. I have seen a couple others on Android, in the Play Store. So if you're wanting to do it on Android and this one isn't an option, there are a couple other ones too that you can use. Speaking Photo, so this is a cool one. This is, he mentioned it being a great baby step towards video. So if you're trying to get into video, but don't, not quite sure how to get into it yet or not comfortable in front of the camera, this is a good one because what it does is you can either take a picture that already exists or you can just take a picture from the app and then you do your voice over the photo. So it's you talking in the background while they're looking at the photo. So it's like a voiceover on top of the photo. Hi, Sue. Sue was in this class at convention, so she'll know some of these. I wanted to remind you. Well, that's what I was saying. Sit and download them now. That's what I did. Like, if I don't download them now, I'm not going to go back and do it. So this is a good one. This one, it does have a cost to download it, but then there aren't any costs, as far as I know, to use it. And it is available on Android and Apple too. And it is on iPad as well. And then you're able to share it directly from here too, just like, wherever you have the photo sharing platforms, you're able to just share it directly into social media or wherever else you want to. City Maps is a really cool one. This is, and this one's not on the iPad, so just on Android and Apple phone. You can pull up a map and then say, I want to find all of, in a certain area, I want to find all of the restaurants in this area. So you kind of pinpoint a certain spot, then you can find all the restaurants around there. It pops it up, it has a cool little visual of that. Then you can, send that to a new client or a client for like a new neighborhood they're moving into, or really good for someone moving from out of town, a relocation. This would be a really good tool for that. It is free to download. Like I said, it's only on mobile devices, not on iPad, but, and they're easy to share too. And this is a good visual of it here, where I think this one pulled, looks like it might be restaurants or bars here around there. So you can pull those. You can do multiple locations too. So very cool. This one is called Magic Plan. This won't be applicable to everyone, but it's still kind of cool. I mean, even if you're not doing anything with new books orders. This one, you can take a picture of a room and actually kind of build the room out. You can, like I said, you can either take a picture and then work. It kind of helps you kind of draw the lines. You can actually draw a room on there, or you can import a floor plan and adjust it to kind of draw around the floor plan. So it's really cool. I mean, you have to kind of get in and work with a little bit, and it's, I think probably works best on iPad, just because it's a little cumbersome on your phone, but it is available on iPad. It will cost money. It's free to download, but it does cost money to actually export those floor plans, because then you can use them, share them, add them into listing presentations, or whatnot. So the digital floor plans, those are really cool. SlideDial. A lot of people have actually heard of this one, I think, but this is a mobile-only one that allows you to call directly to someone's voicemail. So if you're wanting to leave messages for clients that maybe you don't have a lot of time, you have that one client that talks for 30 minutes and you don't have a lot of time, this one will literally, you can type in the number and it will just call directly to their voicemail. You do have to, it's free. You can do like a premium account. I think it gives you some extra features. But to just dial a number, you have to set up a quick account. It's really easy. But then you'll be able to dial in the number or even pull from your contacts too. So go straight to voicemail. You can leave them a voicemail and get your calls done in shorter time than your touch calls for the day done in shorter time than if you talk to all of them. Obviously, you don't want to always do this. Talking to them is good too. MileIQ. So again, I know we've talked about this one in past classes too. This has come up, and there's other ones too. But because this came up in the convention as well as in a past class, I'm thinking it's kind of the go-to for these. But this is on all the devices, but except for the iPad. You can't get it on iPad. But it can track your mileage, so help with taxes at the end of the year. Tracks your mileage. You kind of put in your destinations where if you're doing a showing tour, you can put in your destinations. It will track that. Kind of keep all of that in one place for you, and that it's completely free to use. So
I use it. You don't even have to put in your spots. It automatically
it just
tracks
from where you are.
Any drive you make. It tracks your GPS on your phone.
Oh, that's right. And then you kind of tell it. You kind of designate which drives
more business.
Yeah. The category. You decide the category.
Yeah.
That's how they should have made it.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
Yeah.
It does
do that way.
What is it? I think it's 40 trips.
You get like a certain number of free trips, or it's like $60 for the whole year. I think.
$56.99 or something.
Yeah.
It's really
So
inexpensive
it's
what it is.
40 trips and then you're out for that month, because I
So
downloaded it. It was like a week and a half. And
already.
Yeah, you go through it quick. I did the year one is not expensive, and then you get unlimited.
How much did you say it was?
It's like $60 for the whole
$60
year.
for the whole year. Okay. So there's a cost for that one.
I know for people like me, that's a really good thing. 'Cause, I track my mileage on, like March 27th.
Well, and my CPA said this is like more legit than just writing it down. So he said it's better to
it's the power of
have it.
GPS.
Exactly.
Can't deny where you were. There's a couple other ones, like I said, I think there's one called like Mile Manager. There are some on iPad if you're wanting to use iPad instead of, like I said, this one isn't available on iPad, but there are some other ones I've seen that if you wanted to use the iPad, there are some on there. KeyMe, this one's really cool. This was the first time I heard of this one. So you can take a scan of a key, and it basically stores like a digital copy of your key, so that if you want to make a copy someday, you can, and that you have to have the rights to the key, obviously, but you can then send it. It'll keep it in there. Let me go to the next page real quick. So I just did this as an example. This was my key, my house key. I scanned it, and it just has you do one side, then flip it over, you do the other side, and it label it what you want. I labeled it with home. And then now it says your key is ready to be mail ordered, so you can order it by mail. You can do a kiosk pickup, which I don't think there's any around Des Moines. I didn't see. There's some locksmiths that have kind of hooked up with this app, and then or share key. But the order by mail is really nice because you can just get it mailed to you, and then the share key you can actually send it to someone, to your husband or what. Hey, here's the key that we need for that property for really good for like property management or investment properties. This would be a good tool for that. But I haven't actually placed an order yet, so I'm not sure how the ordering works, but it's gotten really good reviews, so I assume it works pretty good. It is on all three, so it's on phone, Android and Apple, and then on the iPad as well. There's some of the kiosks that have, we don't have any, we have Safeway? No, we don't have Safeway. So, but there might be some more in the future. I think this is not very old, so they're probably trying to connect with a lot of the local area attractions. Cam scanner. So this is one that's come up, I think, to another class, but this is one that you can do mobile document scanning. Now, with that being said, let me see if I have the other one. Oh, I'll talk about it later, but there is a way to actually upload directly and scan documents into Google Drive too. So Cam scanner is really great. If you use Google Drive though, no, there's really not even a point in having the Cam scanner. Because another thing you can do with the Cam scanner is, I think you can do some like signing and that kind of thing, which we have downloads for that. So, but it's a really good tool. A lot of real estate people have put a lot of reviews on this, and I've heard it's really good. But like I said, if you use Google, the Google Drive one is just as good too. LastPass, I believe this one has come up before too. This is one of those password management tools. There's several out there. I actually use one called Password Wallet. It's just on my mobile and my iPad, and then it syncs. I just kind of have to sync them up every time I upload them to. Every time I connect to iTunes, I sync them up. But you can keep all of your passwords in there. It's really nice because then you just have one password that for everything. Instead of having to try to remember all those passwords or have them all the same, which is usually the two problems that take place, you are able to just have one password to get access to all of your other ones. So like I said, there's also one called Dashlane. I haven't used that. I was talking to an agent a couple weeks ago that's using it. Said that they like it so far. I think they were fairly new to using it, but Dashlane is another one. And it syncs through your desktop too. LastPass, I'm not sure if it connects to, yeah, it does. It's a desktop version too. See, the Password Wallet that I use, it actually doesn't have a desktop version. So I should probably look at switching to one of these.
What did you say you use?
Password Wallet.
Password Wallet.
Yeah, but like I said, it's just on mobile and iPad. It doesn't have a desktop version. I have to save that file to my desktop. So I think this or Dashlane would be good options if you wanted it to kind of sync across all devices.
Dashlane.
Dashlane,
Lane.
Dashlane. Dashlane. Roomy, this is a really cool one. This is one where you can take pictures and turn them into 3D images. So you could take a picture of a room. So for instance, you're showing, a client new construction. You're like, man, I just can't visualize what this living room would look like with a couch and chairs in it. You're able to take a picture of that room. You do have to put in some sizing if you really want to get specific. And then you can then start pulling some of the furniture and it'll place it in there. It'll provide graphics for you. It is free to get, but the idea is that it pulls from places like Wayfair. So then maybe you'll buy the furniture that fit in that room eventually. So that's kind of how they make their money, but it's really cool. They have a lot of 500 pieces of furniture in there, so a lot you can do with that.
Is that just on your phone or can you do that?
That one is all three. So you can do it on phone, iPad, or tablet, Android or Apple. So
Oh, so you can't put it on the Android?
oh, yep, you're right. It is not on Android. So it's just on iPad or phone, but I know it is on iPad. Which again, this is probably another one that's a little hard to do on the phone. Probably better on a tablet, which you wouldn't be able to do on an Android tablet. The other thing too is it has sample rooms. So if you just wanted, it'll say like a high ceiling city loft room. So you can kind of take some of those sample rooms before, even if you're just working with a client saying, I'm not sure what style I want. I don't know what, if this new loft building is going in downtown. I don't know what that's going to, I can't visualize what that's going to look like. You can kind of do some sample rooms too. Animoto, this one is, I think it's a good tool for a lot of people. However, what it's doing is doing virtual tours. So a lot of programs now automatically do that. I mean, the central automation automatically creates a virtual tour for you. This one, I think you can just do a little more customization with. So again, I haven't done one yet on this one, but a lot of agents use it. We have the virtual tours that come directly to you. You don't even have to spend any time to create those. So that's kind of a nice tool. But if you wanted to do a really cool one or get real personalized on it, customize it, then this would be a good one. And this one does have a cost. And I think there's different levels of accounts you can get, kind of the additional features as you go up, obviously. So this one is on Android and Apple, and then also on iPad and mobile too. So those are the ones that were at the convention, like I said. So give credit to Josh Stengel, I think was his name, of the he's with Lake Street or Remax. He was with Remax Technology, I think, in IT. So these are some of the other ones that I've come across. Obviously, everyone hopefully by now knows there's a Dotloop app, and there is the Android app now. The Android app came out 6-8 months ago. Before it was just the iPad app or iPhone. RPR, hopefully we talked about this before, hopefully everyone has RPR. By now it's a great mobile tool to use. If anyone needs help getting that set up, let me know. You just need your NRDS number to get set up with that. City ID, and now someone else might be able to tell me this because I don't have an iPhone, but I think iPhone still pulls the city, right, with a phone call. Does iPhone do that? Does it pull the city and state with a phone number?
Mhm.
I think so.
Okay. Android does not. At
Like you
least.
mean when somebody calls you?
Yeah,
to tell
yeah, you can see that it
And my-
identifies the city
My
and state.
Samsung will pull up.
Your Samsung does that too. So I don't know if it's
Well-
by phone or,
No, I take that back. It actually, after the call comes through, and you can kind of look back where it came from, what state,
okay,
or what city too, actually.
okay. So if your phone doesn't do it, City ID is one that will do that. So it's an app that then will have that identification on your calls. And I think it's like a $2 a month thing. So you do have to pay for that service. Then SunSeeker is actually kind of a cool one. This will tell you the sun exposure of the property. So if you're at a house on a cloudy day, rainy day, and they're like, oh, I just don't know what that living room is going to look like with natural light. It's still obviously not going to be the same as seeing it with natural light, but you can get an idea of kind of how the sun works there. And it'll kind of take, I think you can take pictures and kind of show it there too. So that one does have a $7.99 cost, I think, to download. But then there's no cost to use it as you go along. It's just a one-time download cost. So there was a lot of good reviews on that one. I haven't used it, but a lot of good reviews on the App Store for it. So then all the Google apps. I mean, hopefully you guys have, if you use Google, you have all the apps on your phone and iPad. They work good. A lot of the Android phones, they just automatically come on, or automatically come with the phone. But then all the Apple devices, you can get all those on. Does everybody know what all of all the Google apps are? This is Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides. So you can actually get those as individual apps so that you can work in a Google Doc that you have in your Google Drive. You have to have that app to actually be able to work in it. So, and then Google Plus, the first to know, it's really easy to do on mobile if you have that app. So this is another cool thing. So if a site, and again, some of you guys might know how to do this, but if you go to a site that doesn't have an app, a lot of sites now are mobile responsive, and probably 3, 4, 5 years ago, the app, well, it's been a while, longer than that, but the app craze kind of started to slow down a little because sites are really making their websites, their full websites mobile responsive, which whatever device you're on, that just means it kind of tailors to that device. So a full website in an iPhone will everything kind of shifts and moves around differently so that it will look user-friendly on an iPhone or on the iPad. And that's called mobile responsive. So now that a lot of the sites have gone mobile responsive, a lot of them aren't doing apps anymore. So one thing that's nice is you can add these little icons that look like apps. So if you want to it's almost like a bookmark basically. So you can have a bookmark to your to these other sites. So I just kind of put on here some of the way to do it. So if you're, say for instance, you wanted to have the Polk County Assessor, a little app for it. So I'm going to look it up in my browser. You just type it, whatever website you want to go to, type it in the browser, then pull it up, and then in the top right-hand corner, and now I think it's similar on iPad too. But up in the top right-hand corner, you're going to click those little 3 buttons, and now the screen that pops up is this, and it says Add to Home Screen. So it will give you like a little icon on your home screen. It's really nice. Let's see, show. And then you can name it what you want, and then it adds that. It just adds it. It looks just like an app on the home screen then. So those are kind of nice to do. I mean, like I said, so for instance, an example I'll use is like the DMAR app. I know it's not the best app. I think what I've heard from people is they prefer to just go to the site. So you could just make the site, and it's mobile responsive. I mean, it's a little cumbersome, but it does at least respond to the device you're on. It will shift down, but you could make the MLS, the actual MLS full site, an app on your phone. So, anybody have any questions about how to do that? Like I said, I think I meant to refresh myself on the iPad. I think it's similar on the iPad or on the iPhone.
You just go to the arrow at the bottom and just send
And
it
say-
to your home screen.
Okay.
The arrow,
The little box with the arrow? Yep.
Just do that and then send it
Perfect.
to your home screen.
So the share button, like
Yeah.
that, and then it adds to send to home screen. Okay, perfect. So that's how you do it on the Apple products. Okay, so kind of changing direction a little bit, but just so you know, you can add apps and such to your Google profile as well. So these are kind of some of the ones, not mobile per se, but some cool apps that you can add into like your Chrome. So basically, these are called Chrome extensions, and I won't get too into detail about Chrome extensions, but just wanted to show you that these are there and kind of tell you what they are. And if you wanted to kind of get some more insight on that, let me know. I can kind of help you with how to add extensions to your Chrome. The big one I think that is a really, really great tool is called Boomerang. And I'm actually, let me go over to email here. So if I want to create a message, I'm going to go compose a message. You see here that I have these additional, so if you don't have Boomerang, you wouldn't have these additional things. So what I can do is I can schedule it. So I can schedule emails. So it's really nice to be able to do that in Gmail because that's kind of a CRM tool. But you can do that right out of Gmail. I think there is a max 100 maybe per email, 100 people or email addresses per email. But yeah, you can schedule it for any time. So I could say, do this and send this in 1 week, send this at a specific time, send it tomorrow afternoon, send it tomorrow morning. And it's just right there in my email. So that's, again, an extension is just kind of adding something to a Google product that you already have. It's an extension of that. So that's kind of what the Boomerang is. The other thing you can do that's really nice is, and I think this is where it gets its name, is this Boomerang option. So if I check this little box down here, it's going to give me the option to, oh, I'm going to log in again here. I haven't been on it in a while. So I will check that, and then I'm going to say, boomerang this in 2 days if no reply. So what that happens is, if that person doesn't reply to my email within 2 days, it sends it right back to the top of my inbox. So it's really nice. It's just kind of a reminder of, oh yeah, I need to follow up with that person. I really like it because instead of having to take notes of, okay, follow up so-and-so in 3 days if they don't respond. It's just kind of a reminder to yourself. And it will take a couple of times of getting used to it. It's like, why is this back at the top of my inbox? But it'll put a little star on it and send it back up there. And then you'll kind of get into the habit of why it was sent back up there. You can also choose, let's see, if it's not clicked, if it's not open, boomerang it back to me regardless. So there's a couple options there. So that's boomerang I think is a really good, easy tool to add to your Gmail. Doesn't take a lot of effort, doesn't have a cost or anything. It's just an extension. So like I said, if you want to look for it, just type in Chrome extensions and then type in boomerang in there and then just say add to Chrome and it will add it to your Google. Okay. Folio for Gmail. Has anyone heard of this one? You probably, I don't know if anyone gets emails. I get emails all the time about this. I've signed up for it. I've added it to I haven't used it a lot though, so I won't be a good reviewer of it at this point. I've seen a lot of good reviews on the extension store, so I assume, or the Chrome web store, I assume that it's a pretty good tool. Where I have found that it's really useful is if you aren't someone like me who's really OCD and I have lots of folders already in my email and I'm constantly adding stuff to different folders to kind of organize it for myself. If you don't do that, what it's going to do is every time it sees an address, it's going to pull all those emails together, all the contacts together. It's going to say, hey, and it'll ask you, it'll say, do you want, are you working on this transaction? Is this a transaction you're working on? You even say like, I'm on the buyer side, listing side, and it'll kind of organize it for you. Again, I haven't found that it's foolproof or anything because I haven't used it a lot. But it's nice because every time you pop up an email, it will pull this little box over here on the side. And kind of, you can put a timeline in there, so you can put the accept date, the offer date, accept date, closing date. Just kind of a,
So if you're working with, like, obviously buyers, sellers, and then the service center, and then working with other parties within that transaction.
it kind of does its
Okay,
little
that
smart filters and kind of knows, yeah. Again, I don't know that if it's good at pulling everything, because I haven't used it a lot, but this is kind of an example of what it would do. It brings up this, any email that it says has to do with a certain address, it's going to bring this little box up here. So then I could switch over to contacts and anyone see. So to me, I don't know that there was necessarily 26 contacts in this transaction, but I think it's just pulled anyone that's ever been part of that property. So it's kind of, I think it has potential. Like I said, I've seen a lot of good reviews. I get emails weekly about it. And I'm going to kind of look into it a little more. So maybe I'll be able to talk a little bit more about it. But I think one thing that it was kind of hard for me, you can see if I already have folders, it doubles up on that. So that's kind of one thing that it doesn't help me with. I think if you don't have the folders there, it's kind of nice because it will automatically create a folder for each transaction. So it's almost kind of duplicating, for me, that organization effort. But then the last one I was going to just show, and again, there are a lot of extensions that are good tools, but these are just kind of some of the ones that I've noticed kind of rise to the top. Screen capture is really nice. So if you ever want to take a screenshot of the page you're on, to send to a client or for what reason, it's really nice because, and you can't read this up here, but you can take a selected area, you can do selected and scroll. You can scroll the whole page. I don't know if anyone's ever tried to take you have to do multiple screenshots to get a whole page because it's really long scrolling. It's really nice because it'll scroll all the way to the bottom and take one big screenshot of that. That's probably my favorite part. It will also do little videos. You can actually record a little video. So you can do a little, I've had some instances where I've recommended agents of, if they're doing a drip campaign, you could say, hey, do a little how-to video of how to use my website. So here's how you search, it can just be a quick 2-minute instructional video on how to search, on your website. So one good way to use video there. It's just your voice in the background, and then it'll be your screen that you're recording. Or technically you can record without your voice, but the nice thing is too, once you take a screenshot or take, whatever the screenshot is, it pops it up, and then you can do some manipulation to that image. So you can put text on there, you can do arrows, circles, some kind of call outs. It allows you to kind of do some editing to it. So it's really nice. And that one's called Nimbus. And again, that's another Chrome extension. So just find it in the Chrome extension side of the web store, Chrome web store. I think that is all I have. Oh, yeah. So, anybody have any questions about any of those or any others that maybe you guys have come across, or this by no means can be all of them, obviously. Just like I said, this is just kind of pulled from several different resources, the ones I've seen, good reviews, real estate articles, that kind of thing. So, anyone else heard? Had anyone tried any of these, or had any luck, or none? Not good luck with any of these.
I've done Folio.
You've used Folio?
Because I am like opposite of you on my email.
Yes, I remember helping you narrow down your email that one.
Right. So, and it's kind of handy because you get 2 or 3, and then it'll be like, hey, would you like a folder? I'm like, okay.
Oh, sure, I'll take a folder. Why not?
Yeah. Why not?
I don't think it hurts anything,
No.
to be on there. It's not like it will mess things up. If you're unsure, I don't think it's a bad thing to try it.
No.
You can always stop it at any time too. So.
Where do you go to look for the extension?
Yeah, go to the type in Chrome Web Store.
Okay.
Or you can actually type in Chrome extensions too, and it'll pull up it's basically like the Play Store on your Android phone,
Okay.
but kind of the desktop version, and that's where you find like extensions and apps. Any other questions?
And as we're going along, Chrome, we started using Chrome a lot, and of course I love it because it's it saves all my passwords that I normally forget, so that's always a good thing. It's went away from being the best for Dotloop, correct?
Is that what you're hearing?
That was what I heard. Was that
What I've heard, or what we've seen with some of the issues is if you use Chrome on a touch screen. I haven't heard of it on any other computer so far, cross our fingers. But it's on a touch screen that there's been several agents that have then had to switch over to a different browser to use it. And that's just what Dotloop, when we call Dotloop support, that's just what they say. They haven't really given us a reason why the touch screen doesn't work. But ironically, I've actually heard a couple other programs that haven't worked so well on the touch screen. So I don't know if it just has a hard time working with every program.
RPR.
The what? RPR has a hard time with too.
Support.
Do you have a touch screen then?
No.
Oh, okay. And the RPR doesn't work well with it. So
stop touching?
I don't know if it just has that technology, that touch technology hasn't caught up with everything, or everything else hasn't caught up to the touch technology. But I've heard that a couple of times. So far, the Chrome is just Dotloop Chrome issues are with the touch screen.
On Chrome, as you're going back and forth between places, when you log on to Chrome, I expect it to be the same, but it's not. Like if I log on to Chrome on the Chrome box, it's not like my home computer. And is that because there's stuff saved on my computer that's not saved on Chrome?
Well, what I'm guessing, I would have to look at your home computer, but what I'm guessing is your home computer, when you first set up the Chrome, you might have, so Chrome, you can be logged into Chrome with one email, with one Google account, and technically go on to another Google account. Do you know what I mean? When you first install Chrome, when you first set up Chrome, you can then go back and log out of Chrome and log back in with a new one. So I'm thinking that's what yours is, because it just needs to be like reloaded with the concept email, if that's the email you're using.
Sometimes I like stop in here and I'm going to do something really quick, and it's like password, and I'm like,
yeah, because
great to know.
Because it's supposed to sync across all devices. I haven't had any issues with it on like Mac or PC at home. We have both of those, and then the Chrome boxes. But I did a year or so ago. I did find that there was something I had to do on my one at home, because when you're using a Mac or PC, it's how you log into Chrome. When you log into a Chromebook or a Chromebook, you're logging in with your Google account from the start, each session. But when you're at home, you just you have Chrome on there all the time, and it's open. So I might have to come take a look at that. Or is it a laptop? Can you bring it? Or is it a
No,
desktop?
it's, no,
It's at
it's
your
my old,
desktop.
it's my old desktop at the office. It's, everything is there.
Yeah. We'll have to look at that because
Yeah.
I think there's probably just a sync issue going
Because
on.
I have a laptop at home and then the Googles when I'm out running and,
Right.
you know, I'm less effective.
No, I mean, that's the whole, the benefits of the Chrome is that it syncs all across any
Yeah.
device you use. Kind of that's their platform. And so we want to make sure that's
Something's weird. So
something.
if you ever stumble to the, you know, over on the east side,
As
well, I know there's
long
a
as-
good reason.
long as Donna makes me some margaritas, I'll be there.
Oh, okay. We have some at home right now.
Can you go a little more detail, like in the password programs? Kind of how does that actually work? A little bit, just kind of drill down a little. bit.
Yeah, so like I said, the one I use is I've used this Password Wallet, and I've used that for probably 5 years. So I haven't really looked into any of the new ones because it seemed so cumbersome to have to start a whole new program. But what I would do is I always had to manually enter a password in there. So you'll say, okay, I need, you know, this website, Bank of America, this is the password for it. And you can actually connect it with that URL. So what happens is if you go log into your Password Wallet, I can click on and it'll take me directly to that URL. And then it'll sign me in directly too. You can either then manually put in a password. So if you're really particular on which passwords you want to set up for each one, you can put in your own, or you can say, create a password for me. And it'll be like that long,
Oh,
crazy
okay.
sequence, you know, real secure one, which is probably what I should do. I've always done my own.
Mhm.
But then, so it kind of keeps them all in there. And the issue is then you have to try and remember those long ones, but that's the idea of the Password Wallet, or is where you log in with that one password and you have access to all those websites you've put in there and those passwords. So does that kind of make sense?
So if I go to like say Bank of America website and I want to get into it and it asks me for the password, what do I do?
Well, so again, because I haven't connected them all, or if I'm not on my iPad or my phone, if I'm on like a computer going to Bank of America, I'll have to just pull up my Password Wallet and find the
Or
password.
you go.
I pull up my phone and I log in with my one password I have to remember and pull up my Bank of America thing. If I'm on the phone, I can go into the Password Wallet, click on that Bank of America, it'll actually take me to Bank of America then.
So but you can visually see the passwords.
Right.
once
Oh, yeah.
You have the one that you remember to
Yep.
go into that.
Yep.
Okay.
So you, like I said, once you're entering, you enter each item you want to hold, you know, the password of, and so then it will connect with a URL if you put the URL in there, or it's even got the Google search engine now too, where you can just start typing in Bank of America and it'll be like, is this the bankofamerica.com that you want? And you say yes, connect with that one, and then it'll say, do you want us to create a password, or do you want to manually put in one? And then you can manually put one in or have it created. But yes, you would see it. So if you did need to get on a device that wasn't connected right there, you could
Right.
pull that up and see and type it in.
That would be handy.
So this site has to be, really has to have some security, high security.
Yep.
That's always kind of where I'm always just kind of like, really?
I know, it's
That's
funny. I
not-
had someone tell me a couple weeks ago, they were like, you save your passwords to Chrome? I would never do that. I keep them all in a Google Doc. And I'm like, well, isn't that the same thing? So I mean, because if someone hacks your account, they're either going to get them that are tied to your Chrome or they're in that Google Doc. So I mean, unfortunately, I do not have the answer for the password thing. I wish I did. But it's like I said, I've been using Password Wallet for 5 or 6 years and never had an issue. Because, and I think the reason I like that, I kind of like that it wasn't connected to the desktop because it was an app on my phone. So it's almost like it stays to my phone. I'm not technically going online unless I start connecting through there. Do you know what I mean? I just use it literally like a wallet, like it holds my passwords.
Okay.
So you would have to have my password. And I think some of them now are, you can do your fingerprint too, to get in to even see my passwords. Does that make sense?
So, okay, so this example, let's say you happen to lose your cell phone and somebody happened to be able to hack into it. Can they get into Password Wallet?
They would have to have your one password that gets into it. So when you open the app, you have to put in one password.
Okay.
So that's the one password you would have to remember. You can back up the file, the password wallet file, which then, it gives you, if you have the instance where you lose a device, you have it backed up, but then at the same time, that backup means it's less secure, so, because then you have it as a file in your desktop. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I solely just use it for, what's that password? I pull it up, oh, there it is, and I just type it in. That's what I've been doing thus far, but I think some of those other ones are a little more advanced now. But the advanced always means less secure too, I think, too, sometimes, so. Yeah, any other questions?
Did we do a class on Facebook?
We did, you know what, Shane did one a couple weeks ago, or a month or so ago. Well, talked a little bit about kind of how to do the business ad manager. So we'll do another one, yeah. But I'd be happy to help you one too, so.
I signed up for something that I don't really signed up for, and I had been having a $600 a month charge.
On Facebook?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
so, and I went to my credit card, so I turned everything off, I think,
Okay.
but I still want to, but it's like,
Do you have a business page, right?
yeah.
Do you have an ads manager set up? Because it's technically a separate thing you set up in addition to your business page.
Probably another day we can
Okay.
with that.
Okay.
I think I turned it off. Getting
Yeah.
into the support over their support system, you don't,
It's hard.
yeah, it's zero. So it's like, I need someone smarter than me to figure this out.
I mean, I can definitely sit and check my
So now I'll go
that.
back to Discover because it's been going on since October.
And it's a monthly charge?
Yeah.
I'm guessing you had like a campaign running and you said, spend $600 a month there. Somehow it got put in there. You didn't ever put that in there. Wow.
But there was-
Unless you said like a $5 a day and didn't realize what no, I think you have to put the max in though. But yeah, I can help you with
Yeah, I do remember putting in 20, no more than 20. So 20 a month is what I put in, which
Yeah.
is nothing. But it was literally, but I had like 3 days, $120, $25, $28. It was weird.
in 3 days. Huh.
So I'm
Yeah,
gonna watch
that's a lot.
it again today or this week and see when it comes up, because I called them too, but it's like, I've got something set up there.
They don't have great support.
Good luck. I had somebody hack my account a
Yeah.
couple years ago and they locked me out of all of my emails. Like I had one password for my emails at the time. That was like 7 years ago, and they locked me out of everything, and they were messaging all of my family, all of my Facebook friends asking for money, saying I've been, like all these things you see. And of course that was back before it was as prevalent as it is now. And I was locked out of everything. Like I had to get a hold of Google, Yahoo,
Oh my goodness.
Facebook.
It's
Facebook was
all
by far
connected
the
and
worst.
yeah. Wow.
To prove your identity to them
Mhm.
was ridiculous.
Yeah, hey guys, starting next week, it's gonna be a listing boss session. It's gonna be really cool. So, the brokers have bought a listing boss program and they're all kind of going through it and, kind of tailoring it, making it their own. It's gonna be about a 6 to 7 week session over the next couple months. I think we'll do it almost every Wednesday. And so more details will be coming out over the next couple days, but it's an accountability class. So it's gonna be, for those of you who've done Kickstart, it's like hey, we're gonna do this session, and the next one, by the next time, we wanna have this put together, or come up with this.
Next Wednesday.
It'll start next Wednesday, yeah.
You'll sign up for it.
No, you don't have to sign on, but there'll be more details coming out, but it'll be during this normal Wednesday, 11 o'clock time, so. Stay tuned, thank you.